Hi. In this lesson, we're going to look at how to use the functions SUMIF and SUMIFs. There's lots of times when our data is organized in a table. We would like to extract bits of the information. We'd like to add up values only if they meet certain criteria. In this case, our data is set up showing individual teams, individual days, and the amount they collected. What we want is just the amount that was collected by the team green. Now we've already explored how we could use the sort feature and then the subtotal to get that information. There's times when you want to keep the original data intact and have just the summaries showing perhaps to the side as we are in this case. SUMIF is used when there's one criteria and SUMIFs if there's more than one. In our first part of the exercise, there's only one criteria, and that is the team name. So in the cell, I'm going to type SUMIF and open brackets. By the way, when you're typing functions, it doesn't matter if they're in capital letters, small letters, a mix of both. Excel doesn't care. I tend to do them in caps just because it makes it a little clearer. The first thing we want to tell Excel is what range contains the criteria. So this is the range that includes the criteria green. The criteria is green in this case, and the sum range is the range that includes the data that we want to add up if it meets the criteria. Close the brackets, press enter, and it now tells me that Team Green collected 2,074.83. I'm going to do that for each of the teams. Now I could type the formula in each time, or I can use the formula that I've already created, but I need to change some things to absolute cell references. So go back in here and edit it. The range is always going to be A2 to A23, and the range for the amount collected is always C2 to C23. However, the range that contains the criteria will change as I move the formula. Press enter, and now I can just drag that down, and it tells me the amounts that were collected by each team. Because I have a total at the bottom of the collected column, I have a little check digit. I know that I haven't missed anything. One thing you should always remember when you're using SUMIF is that Excel's not intuitive. It's pretty literal. So here, if I'd accidentally typed this team name in as blue, spelled incorrectly, you can see that it's no longer included in the total here, and I have a mismatch. This alerts me to the fact that something's missing, and there are ways to find that. So I'll just go back here and change that back to the proper spelling of blue, and everything works out beautifully. So that's how we use SUMIF. We want to look at a data table. We want to add something up, but only if it meets a certain criteria. In this case, the criteria was the team name. Here, I'm going to do something a little different. Here, I've already created a list in each of these cells. This list draws on these names, and this list draws on the days that money was collected, and I've already named that range days, and you can see it up in the little address box. So here, the criteria is green, but also Wednesday. So now I need to use SUMIFs because I have more than one criteria. So SUMIFs, open brackets. It's organized differently. The first thing it wants is the sum range. Okay, I can select that. The next thing it wants to know is the range for the first criteria. So that's this. And then it wants to know what the criteria is. Well, it's the team name. Then it says, well, where's the range for criteria 2? There we go there. And the criteria, the second criteria, is the day of the week. You can see that I can continue doing this if I have more than two criteria. Here I've got two, so I'm done. Close the brackets, press enter. That's pretty cool, pretty useful, pretty versatile. So feel free to watch this again and practice on your own. Thanks very much, and enjoy Excel.